Welcome to the Mazu Mindset. We're back again.
Like we never left.
Yeah, well, that's special episode for you guys today.
Yes.
We have our guest.
For those of you who are into gaming, this is made specially for you guys.
Yeah, man. All our developers.
Yeah.
We've brought one on our podcast today to share.
So maybe before we introduce him, we can first have a disclaimer. The views discussed on this podcast are not to be taken as expert knowledge. We are just passionate creatives and entrepreneurs discussing DeFi, Web3, AI, and gaming.
So do your research and don't sue us.
Yeah.
In summary.
Don't misuse this information.
Please, don't sue us.
So without further ado, the man seated to my right and to Cedric's left is Isaac Amumpaire. He is a dear friend of ours. I got to know him today. I got to know him not today, man. I got to know him this last year, my bad. And I got to find out a lot about him. He's a multi-hyphenate, immensely talented coder, developer, video game maker. Cedric, what do you have to say about Monday?
Man, I've known Isaac for a while, so I have to be careful what I say. Yeah, but he's a good person, very good developer. He makes games, apps, of course websites, if you're making apps and games, you know. And
animations. I think the first time we met was running an animation for like UNICEF.
You get
So
he's a multi-talented one, but let him tell you about himself. Isaac, in a nutshell, who are you?
So I wanted to be a lawyer.
Are you serious? You wanted to be a lawyer?
Yeah, I almost became a lawyer. Because in school I loved literature and history and art and all these things that, I could have done physics and math, but I found literature and art something very entertaining to me. And so I tried to go to UCU and I had my points. I don't think I had my good points. Don't think I flunked. But it was more expensive for me, so I couldn't afford it. Now, sometimes God gives you, what do they say about lemons?
Lemons, you make lemonade.
Yeah, but then I know some guy who said, you get those lemons, put them on the market. Actually, first make them scarce. And
put
then
them on the market.
Put them on the market, and everyone is now looking for the lemon. So I was like, you know what? Computers, I think, because fair background. I know you haven't asked me about this, but
go ahead, man.
I love video games. From Vice City, I played Call of Duty like World at War.
World at War.
Yeah, it was so nice. Then Battlefield is like one of my favorites. I actually still have Battlefield 3 on my PC. Even when I have a console, I just want to
get it.
I have because it's easy. They already put a disclaimer: don't follow any of this. Right? but you can go on Pirate Bay and get a game and then make sure it's not a virus. You can easily get a virus and then crack it, find different ways to play all these games for free. Yeah, compared to what we are doing now with consoles. For them, back then it's like something you can, I have a whole hard drive of all those games. So it's something that keeps growing with you and then you're like, how do I crack this?
It's
legal.
Yeah, it's legal. They encourage people to have all this software, break it, because we're talking about privacy. There's a time I was in Germany and my friend told me, please don't download anything from Pirate Bay. They'll come for me and give me a 2,000 euro bill.
Oh my goodness.
So how does that
pay
work,
2K? But then how do they track?
Do they track your IP?
Yeah, it's an IP address that they can tell by your downloads, by the sites you're visiting. So they know what sites you're visiting and then bandwidth. They can usually tell.
And if I use a VPN?
VPNs, so some VPNs will lie to you because they do not. So it's supposed to protect the whole PC, but IP address is something that's always there. Your IP, your ISP always knows what sites you visit. So even when you use, like, there's a time I went to China and then there was no WhatsApp, there was no
nothing.
Google.
It's illegal in China.
As a company, it exists, but they do not have TikTok.
So what's the name of their
TikTok?
Is it in Chinese?
It's in Chinese. Not. Okay. I have no idea. I mean, we're still talking about tech and all this space, but there are so many things that China does so different.
Because sometimes, especially of late, like you can, if you don't prompt DeepSeek right, it can give you like 1 or 2 words in Chinese in its response.
Yes.
Right. So I'm curious. I saw it recently. It was so I think Michael was searching something to do with fish farming, and then it brought like 2 Chinese words. When I went and Googled like translate these words, they were saying something to do with growth, expansion, something like that.
Wow.
So it's interesting. It's glitchy. I don't know if that is a glitch, but they all glitch. Yeah. But they all glitch. So.
But speaking to Isaac's idea about them using open source and stuff, I don't know if you guys saw CDAS this week.
Yeah.
And
released a new upgrade.
Yeah.
CDAS 2.0.
Yeah, and like the letter from Disney and SAG-AFTRA saying that they were using the IP of Marvel and Disney without approval.
Yeah.
So is that what you mean by them being open source? They don't have any authentic or original. They all just
But I think it's not a problem for like all AI. Because they use Apple stuff, but I'm sure they're not paying for all those copyrights.
That's true.
So most people are doing what they call vibe coding. You just do
I had to laugh at that because like yes,
Mr. Vibe Coder.
Mr. Vibe Coder himself.
Because there's a difference between someone who is vibe coding and someone who is using AI as an assistant. I don't know if you get the difference. Yeah. So when someone, for instance, says, "Make me a website that markets blah blah blah," they just expect the website. They do not check security vulnerabilities. They do not check where their information is being stored. They don't check their databases to see if like policies are enforced. So many things need a technical background. I was thinking about it, and I was like, when you see someone hammering away something, especially like a carpenter, you're gonna be like,
It just
easy. He just has a hammer. Until they give you the same hammer and the nail, and you can't break your fingers. So it depends on what skills you have for you to be good at this. It's a robust thing. AI is a good thing, but if you do not know what to check for, then it's a liability. We learned how to write code the hard way through HTML, CSS, and all these other things. But now a graduate just comes out.
Wow.
VS Code. Add agent. they have nothing about the database. Where am I going to store my APIs? What is Fast API, for instance? How do I use it? So there are things that we learned previously that help us right now to become better at what we do. And I kind of worry about the generation that comes up because I mean, if you're a teacher right now, it must be so hard for you because you give a question to students, go and do research.
It's done. 5 minutes, he copies the question, pastes it in GPT, and gets the answer.
So it's a tool, but I worry about the people that are coming out now.
The kids that are in school right now.
Those are people who should fear that AI is going to take their jobs.
Because
they are not technically like
gifted in terms of going back to HTML and
if it breaks down, you have no idea where the breakdown is. You just need to copy and paste your error. So it's something very good to people who need faster deployment. But then if you do not know how to deploy something, then you're going to deploy vulnerabilities. You put your app out, someone hammers it with API calls. So
for a beginner, I'm a vibe coder. Let's say I'm a guy out of third year law, and I want to vibe code a legal AI. What are the few tools you would recommend me to use where I skip the pitfalls of API calling, data breaching? What are those few tools?
So the biggest now in the world, I don't know if there's much competition, but there is ChatGPT. for me, I believe you can use all these tools one to do a certain job. For instance, if you have a setup and ChatGPT tells you how to break it down, it creates for a markdown file. Then you put this in another AI agent like Cloud, and then it runs it.
Okay.
Cloud Code do something, ChatGPT verify it, and then you also have Codex. Codex is also like something you can run in your IDE, your development environment. And then there are other tools like Gemini, anti-gravity. I have not used it. I do not want to say anything about it. But a challenge is sometimes you're using all these tools and one breaks everything. So you find you've been working on a project for a week, 2 weeks, and then you introduce one agent. It has an idea of what you want, but then it breaks everything. So you have to go back to your original agent and say, I'm sorry, I cheated on you with this. Now I'm sorry, but I'm back. And then it's like, okay, let me fix it. So you have to research a bunch of tools to use, different AI agents, MCP servers to, like if you're using fast API for API calls, you're creating your own APIs. So for me, it's just like a broad range of things you have to do on your own.
Customize your tool and then use it to actually serve your purpose.
Yes.
We have a question that we started from last week about your prediction for AI. So before we go into the current projects you're working on and how excited you are for them to be launched out in the world and how you've used AI to build them, just briefly touch on what your prediction for AI, if we are watching this 20 years ago or 20 years in the future, what would you say AI would look like 20 years from now?
I mean, sometimes in my head, it's like, I don't know if it's the movies that we've watched, but it's like AI controls a lot of things. People have made robots that do all these kinds of things. What is it called? Dystopia?
Yeah, dystopia.
Yeah. But then that's like from the movies. If you've watched iRobot, Will Smith, they all talk about the rise of AI, and some people are also talking about it in spiritual sense that this is the new world order, blah blah blah. But for me, I think we still have a long way to go. With devices now, most of the people are probably bumping a smartwatch, and then some people are doing smart homes. I saw it also in Portugal. You enter and then it's able to tell from your watch, your blood, what it's asking you if you're pissed. Why are you so angry?
Like, calm down.
Calm down. Let me play you some music.
Switch us on the warms the house before you get there. For those of you who are abroad,
recommends a menu that suits.
It recommends a meal. So AI is like the tech industry is running at a very fast pace, but it needs also a limitation, because if you, for instance, create your own app here, I do not know how sensitive it is here to have data, because that's like one of the things. I don't know our data governance laws here.
Actually, I found out that they passed a law this year or late last year that there's a 10-year penalty if you don't have data compliance officers. Like you have to have a data protection officer if you're doing a fintech, anything to do with tech. And if you do not have that data protection officer in place, I believe the fine or the penalty, again, we said this is not an expert show, but do your research. The penalty is now 10 years. I was speaking to Everson actually.
Our cybersec.
Yes, our head of cybersecurity. And he was telling us that they're going to enforce it starting this year. So 10 years, people, if you're developing an app, please reach out to Isaac and make sure you have some cybersecurity. Or reach out to Mazu, we'll make sure your cybersecurity is covered, so that you don't have to face jail time.
Yes.
Nice ad. But it still goes back to what we talked about before, systems. We are not going to keep using the old systems like we are used to. Now we have to put people in power who know what to do. The medical sector is no longer as it was, where it's just like you go and prescribe something and then you're like, I'm out.
And then you leave.
But now you have to know that this person probably already did some research on their own. They know the side effects of this drug. So if you administer it to them, so we have to have stronger systems. We have to build from the systems we have. And we have AI, so we have AI. It's not a recommendation that please, when you have headache, ask AI that why do I have headache on my left or right. But it's something that you can at least know that, oh, if I have this and it's going on for long, then I should go for an MRI.
It will at least advise you that way.
Or when you meet like a doctor, he recommend some pills to you. You can search what are the side effects of these pills, because sometimes doctors make mistakes. Sometimes they recommend stuff that's not really good for you, like on the long term, or maybe you have other underlying issues that they may not know about, and they recommend something that will mess you up even more. So you can now check if you're buying pills or medicine for your children, for yourself, for your loved ones, your family. Please check the side effects and ask the doctor for an alternative.
Ask me what I was working on, and well, it's kind of like in medtech, 2 projects. One, we have an app. Actually, it's called Robin Assistant. It's in the final stages. It helps people with brain disorders, damage, like if you have dementia, if you have autism, if you have Down syndrome. So it's supposed to be like a reminder, maybe take your pill at this time, do an activity at this time, and it's nothing to do with AI. This one is just like something, traditional app, software as a platform. What's SaaS in full?
Software as a service.
Yes. So that's one, and then one is like, I can't get much into detail, but it's an app that scans your body. It already has data from like when they scan your body, and then it tells about body composition. The AI makes recommendations based on your diet, on your workouts, and then it tracks progress over time to see are these recommendations it has provided made a big difference if you're following the plan. So long term, the AI is going to analyze this data. First of all, it's very important in the health, in the medtech world to store this data very well. It's one of the biggest challenges because people these days, instead of people stealing passwords and all these things, people are stealing data. So
when is Robin's up?
Robin Assistant.
Robin Assistant.
You can check it out.
It's already out. It's out there now on all Play Store.
Not yet because the markets are different. We launched it in Portugal. It's also in Netherlands and Serbia. So we are just running it there. As I said before, here we do not know about reliability. You give someone your software and then there's no power.
There's data breach, like you just said. Someone can just steal people's brain data, which is very dangerous, I guess.
So we need to, because different laws apply different in different places. So for now, it's in the EU region, because in Uganda, it's if you're doing something here, then the data should be stored here. It should not be exported. So we are working with policies that are already in place, like the EU already has HIPAA, GDPR, policies that are already put in place to protect people's data and privacy. So we need to also find a way we can do it here. Games Hub and all these places, there is no one who is saying I'm making so much money from gaming. It's just like a passion. Like I went for a Hero Fest in I think Hero Fest was in Bern. I went for the popcorn and game show in Zurich. Different events, different places too. And one thing is culture. So our culture is influenced by so many things. Animes. I saw you go dressed up in so many anime costumes, Star Wars things, kind of like comic
cosplay.
Cosplay. That's what they call it. So I actually didn't even know.
So for you, what did you wear?
Someone is like, what's your attire? I'm like, me?
Batman also.
But I have pictures of people like in Spider-Man suits.
Batman was the most common guy?
No, he's my favorite superhero.
As you can see, Black.
That makes sense.
Because he's rich, that's his superpower. but he uses all the gadgets he has to do some stuff. So I met all these people and I was in shock. I was like, oh my god, people with horns, people like the cosplay was like a big thing. So it showed me how much influence comics, movies, animes, everything have on our culture. And so when I sat down, I'm like, if we could have something here that we could work on, if we could have the mission is social, like not just gaming. The gaming part is important as well, but education through education through gamification, gamifying the things that are around us. So we are working on other projects under Birungi Studio. You will see them, but the most important thing is we are now going to have a community of game developers. People just come together, share their ideas, assign you to whatever you want to do, and then eventually have a game out there. And the best part of this is we already have professionals, people who know game design from top to bottom. And so if you want to learn about it, this community is going to be a platform for you. So if you want to learn about game design, what it takes to have skills
out there.
Distribution,
publishing. If you have a game out there and you want to know about how publishing a game works, it's going to be a community where you just come, put your ideas there, meet once in a while, eat some pizza if you're a vegetarian like some of the people, eat some veggie burgers. But then it's very important for these meetups because most of the devs that I know and have interacted with are we call them basement developers.
Underground.
You sit in your
website.
My email isaac@birungi.studio. So there you can find my socials, you can find our activities. Follow me, send me a message. I'll be glad to be there.
Alright.
We're so glad to have you on this episode, and we hope we'll get you on the second one. And people like those of you who are interested in gaming and culturally keeping stories relevant, be sure to watch out for part 2 with Isaac. I think in that episode we'll talk more about like the community that we were talking about that you're trying to build, and how we in the foundation steps or how far you've gone in terms of making this a reality. Cedric?
I think that's all from us. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and learned a few things. Stay tuned for more cool stuff. You never know who's going to be with us next.
Indeed.